Hi everyone, it's Connie from Connie's Awesome Kitchen, and I just want to introduce myself. Most of you know me by my hands, and I just wanted to give you a little small update on I want to give you an update on my juice fast and why I'm doing a juice fast. I normally do a juice fast every 4 months, and I do it for about 15 days. And this time I decided to do a longer one, and it has to do with my face. I 5 months ago woke up and I couldn't move half my face, and half of it was just hanging down here. It was like melted wax. I was so devastated. Went to the doctors. They really couldn't do anything for me. It says only time could tell. It says some people heal right away, and some of them will. Unfortunately, they're stuck with it for the rest of their lives, and I'm not going to take that as an answer. So I took it upon myself that I'm going to try and heal myself. I've been doing the best I can eating raw foods, and it has helped a lot. My family tells me they see such a big change, and there is a big change. I mean, at one point I was afraid to look at myself. It was so scary. But it's still not working properly. My mouth still pulls to the side, as you can tell on this side. My eye doesn't close at the same time as this one. It does dry up sometimes, but my face is a little more even now, where my mouth is a little more centered. It is a lot more centered, not just a little. My mouth's more centered. My eyes are also, this one here is more open. It still hangs a bit, but it's still more open. So if you want to know what Ramsay Hunt syndrome is, I'm not even going to show you what I look like. I was like scary to look at. I was so scary. I mean, I don't even want to look at those pictures. But if you really want to see what Ramsay Hunt does to you, YouTube it, Google it. It is scary. It is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I woke up and I was like devastated. But I am going to try healing myself. So I'm going to do 60 days of just juicing. I did 5 days of water, and I feel pretty strong. Um, I'm excited to do it. It's a challenge for me. I love challenges. And so I just wanted to give you a little update. And while we're here, I'd like to tell you how we became vegan, how my family became vegan. I remember the day my daughter came home, Erica. She's also known as Vegan Karma, if you want to look her up. She came home from school. Uh, I I can't even tell you the day I saw that she was only 17 back then, crying. And Erica, if anybody knows Erica, Erica does not cry. She does not cry. She is such a hard nut to crack. This girl would fall as a little child, and she would scrape her knee. Nothing would come out of her mouth. It was like all you would see were tears rolling down her face. But she would not scream like kids usually. They're yelling out that they fell. So when I saw this girl come home and she's sobbing and she couldn't catch her breath, and I was like, oh my God, what happened to you? And she said, Mommy, I saw the worst video ever. And she obviously saw a documentary at school that really affected her. And I said, that's it. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna continue cooking meat to make her feel even worse. I'm gonna support my daughter. And my husband came out from that side of the house, and he said, why is she crying? I says, well, we're not eating meat anymore. He says to me, what do you mean you're not eating meat? I says, that's it. We're not going to eat any meat. There's going to be no meat cooked in this kitchen. What do I do? I says, what am I gonna make? I mean, I have two freezers full of meat. What do I do? So I basically said, what did my parents do back in Italy when they didn't have any meat? They were lucky if they had meat once a year. And I says, I'm going to cook the way they used to cook. They used to make polenta. They used to make sauce. They used to make spaghetti. And they used to make spaghetti without any eggs. They used to just make it with water. I said, well, I'm going to cook the way my parents did in Italy. We're going to eat plants. And that's it. It was the first day of the best day of my life. Our lives, really. Before that, I used to always complain. Every time I would finish eating, I'd be devastated. I'd be curled up on the couch in pain. Uh, And it was just a few days after we started eating vegan, I was so busy concentrating, what am I going to make for dinner? How am I going to cook this? How am I going to make this? That I basically forgot to take the pills I used to take when I was prior to this journey that we started. It was 2, 3 days into it, and I looked at my daughter Erica. I says, "You know what, Erica? I haven't taken any pills, and I have no pain." And she says, "What are you talking about, Mom?" I says, "I haven't been taking the medication I was prescribed, and I have no pain whatsoever." She says, "Could it be that because we're not eating meat?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm gonna buy." So anyhow, I don't remember where I was, but I basically said I basically noticed that after that it really was the meat, because I did not have any aches or pain or stomach pain. I just stopped taking that medication. So we decided, well, what's the next best thing to do? So we went almost half a year, and we went to see our doctor, and we wanted to do some blood tests just to see if what we were doing was okay, because everybody tells you you need to eat meat. You need meat for protein. You need meat for iron. I said, well, we better go get ourselves checked, because this was all new to us. I said, we better go get ourselves checked and see if we're doing okay. Sure enough, I get a phone call from our doctor, and he says, "I've got some results for you." And the way he said it, I was like scared, like, oh my God, what's he going to tell us? Am I going to have to start cooking meat again? Is my daughter going to start freaking out on us? And he says, "What have you guys done that's different?" I said, well, I told him we stopped eating meat. He says, well, I've got your husband's results. There's no longer diabetic, and his cholesterol is the best it's ever been. I'm like, what? I says, are you kidding me? He tells me, Erica, fantastic. Everything's fantastic. I says, how about me? How am I doing? And he says, perfect. Everything's perfect. Whatever you guys are doing, continue doing it. Well, that day, this was 6 months later, I said, I will never, ever, ever go back. So remember, I started off doing it for my daughter. Now I noticed the health was number one. And then I started to realize that what we were doing just was so wrong. I decided that I'm not just going to be vegan for my daughter or for myself. I'm going to be vegan also for the animals. And that I am not going to be part of the killing, and I'm not going to be part of the horror these animals have to go through. I'm enjoying my life more than ever just by eating plant-based foods. Yes, I did have to learn how to cook for my husband, because he wasn't on board with us as much as we were on board. He was just missing the bite in the meat, and he was missing the texture. So I says, you know what? I'm going to try. When we started, you couldn't even buy vegan meat. So I started to play around, and I started to mix this and mix that. And sure enough, in the beginning, it wasn't so great. But as I kept doing it, my husband kept saying, no, this is really good. This is really good. But come holidays, he was missing the stuffed olives, and he was missing the veal cutlet. I said, don't worry, I'm going to take care of that too. Sure enough, sorry, I have to apologize when I talk, because everything just pulls on this side, and it feels so crampy sometimes on this side. But I'm going to make this get better too. Making those, if you hear me slurring, I apologize. This is what we have. That's why I hate making videos with me in it, because it's just such a mess on this side. But back to my husband, I decided that I was going to start making some of these Italian dishes that he was so accustomed to, and they just got better and better and better. I've also tested them on some family relatives. I have an aunt who passed away not long ago. God bless her. She did everything I told her to do. She stopped eating meat at 92 years old. I mean, what a trooper. This woman was amazing. And I used to bring her the cutlets I used to make. I said, see, I just tried this. What do you think? And she would just say, Connie, she goes, you would never know that this wasn't meat. And so when it came out of her mouth, I knew I was doing something good. So I just kept making them and kept perfecting them. And I'm here now to share these recipes with you guys. I want the world to turn vegan because it's the best thing. It's just the best thing that we can do for ourselves, for our bodies, for our children. What what an amazing gift we could give our children, because if we keep doing what we're doing today, we're going to destroy this planet. We're going to destroy ourselves first. We're going to see more and more of our kids getting sick. So I believe that if we all do our part, that we can really change this place around and have the best planet to live on. So I'd like to share these recipes with you, and I'd love that you would leave a comment and let me know how you like it. I got a comment today. I was so happy, and that she really enjoyed one of my dishes, and it just makes me feel good because I'm gonna do my best to try and create things that can help people change. A lot of them complain because they don't want to let go of cheese or they don't want to let go of meat. And I'm going to try and create dishes where it's going to be easy for them to do it and they're not going to miss it. And if they would all stop and just take a look and see what these animals go through, really, I don't think anybody has to go through that just for 2 minutes in your mouth. Because if you really look at vegan food, we have more we have more of a choice. The abundance of food that we have that we can pick from is crazy. We have more food than animal eaters do. So let's put our mind together. Let's get some of these recipes out there and let's create and make it fun for people to eat. And you know what? We can make it just as gourmet as the meat eaters. So I'm going to do my best to create dishes that you guys are going to really, really enjoy along with my family. And I have another daughter, my oldest daughter. She goes as my so-called vegan life. Subscribe to her. She's also making some fantastic dishes. If you want to give her a go, just check her YouTube channel. She conceived beautiful twins, vegan, and these girls have been born and raised vegan. If you check some of my videos, you'll get to see my beautiful little Tarantella, and they're just thriving. They're just thriving. You really don't need meat. And I noticed today there's little children that eat meat that they're so unhealthy because they don't want to eat the meat, because really children don't like meat. So my kids, they eat everything I give them. They eat all the food colors. They've tried so many different vegetables and so many different fruits. I've got these two little 4-year-olds. If you watch them eat durian, now I'm not sure if any of you tried durian. It's stinky fruit. It is one of the stinkiest fruits out there. But my God, is it delicious. And you have to see these girls devour that durian. And I've introduced this durian to older people, and as soon as they smell it, they want to vomit. So you could see that we've got some visitors on my chair here, on my little adopted pets. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when you are vegan, you open your eyes to try, or you open your mind to try different foods that you haven't tried before and get to really, really enjoy something new. And we can make food taste just as yummy, and we can make food taste just as good. And it's a matter of putting our act together and say, you know what, we're going to do it and we're going to do it right. I've seen the Hodge twins go from eating meat to saying that they'll never eat meat again. And it was so upsetting to see that they went back to eating meat. And it's really, don't even do it for themselves. They say that they were losing weight. Well, maybe in the beginning you might lose a pound or two, but you get to see some of these vegan bodybuilders and strongmen. They're a lot bigger than they are. So if they're telling you that they're losing it for one reason, they stopped being vegan or being plant-based, or what they say, vegetarian, because they just wanted to go back. But you know what? They have kids. And if they do change, they're not just changing for themselves. They're changing for those kids they brought into this world. So they should try and see if they can do something about that, because it really is important today. Today, it's important that we make a change, because it's not a good place to be in. And if we keep doing what we're doing, there won't be much of a tomorrow. So um, I say, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. Don't be afraid to, if someone tells you, oh, you're vegan, yes, I am vegan. And I'm proud that I am vegan. So a lot of people are so upset, oh, they're going to make fun of me. Well, you know what? Let them make fun of you. It's their loss. They're the ones who are not going to get healthy. They're the ones who are going to get all these illnesses. I remember when I was eating meat, besides stomach problems, when I would go work into my studio and I would go create my dolls, I couldn't even get into the studio. My knee joints would hurt. My back would go out of place. And today, I don't have a joint problem. My back hasn't gone out of place in almost, sorry about that. My back hasn't gone out of place since I started this journey, and that's over 8 years ago. So I see that there's more plus than negative. If the negative is somebody bashing me, I don't care. Let them bash me. They're the ones who are going to lose out on being the healthiest that they can be. So I'm going to say thank you for taking the time to meet me. And I'm going to say thank you for listening to me slur. It's getting better, but it's still very frustrating for me, because I can't do what I normally do with my face or my mouth or my eye. But it's getting better. And I'm going to say thank you for following me. I'm so happy to have you people follow me. And if you want to share my YouTube with some of your friends, go ahead. I'll be posting a lot more videos. I've got one that I just made the other day, and I'm hoping to finish with the editing, and it's going to be for some delicious, compassionate vegan honey that I make. And so yes, thank you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.